Hi folks, today we are going to be using the quadratic formula and the discriminant a little bit more. The quadratic formula, that's something that we've learned already in the past, but the discriminant is something you already know how to do, you just don't know the name of it yet. So first off, we're just going to do this part. We're going to solve using the quadratic formula, then we're going to factor so that we can check our answers, and basically the only reason we're factoring to check answers is to make sure that stays fresh in our minds. So starting out, we got to make sure that, again, our quadratic equation is set equal to 0, which it is. So now we can go ahead and identify A, B, and C. So A is always in front of the x squared, B is always in front of the x, C is always the constant, and we are making sure that we're aware of the signs. So now it's just a matter of plugging in. So we have x equals, the negative sign is there automatically. Now we bring in B, which is negative 8. Plus or minus the square root of negative 8 squared minus 4 times 1 times 15. All over 2 times 1. So x equals 8 plus or minus the square root of, once we do all the math in here, this will wind up to be 4, and that's all over 2. So breaking it down a little bit further, x equals 8 plus or minus the square root of 4 is 2, and we're going to divide that by 2. So now we're going to come out with two answers on this. We're going to come out with x equals 8 plus 2 divided by 2, and x equals 8 minus 2 divided by 2. So simplifying that down, we have 5 there, and we'll have 3 there. So there are two answers. Now again, we're just going to check by using factoring. So we have x squared minus 8x plus 15 equals 0. So in factoring this, it's going to be signs automatically minus minus in the binomials. X squared breaks down into x and x. And the factors of 15 that will get us that middle term of negative 8 will be 3 and 5. So now we can set each part equal to 0 and solve for x. So x will be 3 and x will be 5, just like we got before. Now we're going to take a look at the discriminant. The discriminant is basically the part that's underneath the square root. It's b squared minus 4ac. And what that's going to do is it's going to tell us how many solutions we can expect from this, how many real solutions or how many imaginary solutions we're going to get. So rather than trying to memorize all three of these scenarios, just think about where the b squared minus 4ac is. It's under a square root. So if this number, if this discriminant is positive, which is basically what this is saying, if it's greater than 0, then you're going to get two real solutions. If this discriminant is 0, then you're going to get one real solution because this whole square root thing is going to drop off. It'll be gone. And then if the discriminant is negative, you think about that, a negative underneath that square root is going to be an imaginary solution. So really that's all we're looking for on this. How many solutions can we expect to find? So all we do is plug into that b squared minus 4ac. So b is always in front of the x, so we have 4 squared minus 4 times a is always in front of the x squared, b is always in front of the x, and c is always this constant, so that'll be negative 4. So we have 16 minus 4 times 2 times negative 4 will be negative 32. So now minus the negative means plus the positive, so 16 plus 32 will be 48, which means we're going to have two real solutions. And that's all we really needed to find on that. Here we've got a couple more examples. Again, make sure that we is that it's set equal to 0 before we go any further. And now it's just a matter of plugging in to b squared minus 4ac again. So we have 12 squared minus 4 times 3 times 12. So we'll have 144 minus 4 times 3 times 12 is 144. So the discriminant will be 0, which means we will have one real solution. And there is one more here that we can do real quickly. Again, set it equal to 0 first, so subtract the 9x over to the other side, and add that 11 over to the other side. So we'd have 8x squared minus 9x plus 11 equals 0. So now we can plug into that b squared minus 4ac. So we have negative 9 squared minus 4 times 8 times 11. So here we would have positive 81 minus 352, and that will give us negative 271. And since we have a negative discriminant, that means we will have 0 real solutions, but we will also have 2 imaginary solutions. And that will be enough for today. So your assignment will be on page 296, numbers 22 to 39 all, 69, 71, and 81 to 85 odd. Best of luck to you. We'll see you in class.